Welcome back to a brand new NordVPN crypto news video where I bring you crypto news every day in, of course, the most no BS kind of way. Now look, I love crypto. It is full of twists, turns, up, downs, cries, happiness, everything in between, right? And so today is no exception to that case. A few days ago, we were celebrating, everyone was happy. Bitcoin was at new all-time highs for like the last pretty much 15 months. And now, as we'll see in a second, some things have changed. Now, that's also not to say we have bad news today. We do have a long-time crypto bear turning bullish, which is going to be a little bit weird, to be honest with you. We also do have some other micro news as well relating to some altcoins. It's going to be the whole sort of kit and caboodle today. So I want you all to buckle up, sit tight, and let's get straight into the news. So let's first of all begin over here by assessing the Bitcoin heat map, and already things are going to be apparent to you. We are now in a sea of red, whereas a few days ago on my last news update, we were literally in a sea of green. Things have changed. We were like almost 10% up. Now we're almost 10% down on Bitcoin. Altcoins as well have been punished, of course. So this is why it's very important for all you to remember. Always have a little bit of cash on the side. If you're buying the FOMO, you're going to be missing out on some discounts. Like we'll see in a second here, things like Solana, Mina, IOTA, Algorand, these are all on discount right now. Again, just very funny because a few days ago, there was a massive sea of top gainers. We had like 3 or 4 losers. Now it's a complete flip. Not gonna lie though, Internet Computer Protocol has been on a massive tear. These guys are almost up like 200% on the week. Insanity over here. Again, good dollar cost average position for you right now. Whether you take it or not, up to you. Personally speaking, I am still waiting off for the potential sell the news event. Whether this is the beginning of the sell the news event for the ETFs, I'm not too sure. However, we are about 5 to 7 days off them actually being officially announced, I believe approved. So we'll have to wait and see, in my opinion. And plus, we have a good 3 to 4 months after that as buffer until I believe that we'll really find a good time to buy, if I'm correct. Now, Bitcoin, as I said, we are down significantly. We can have a look on the day here. We have had a massive wick down today, down to about almost $41,000. So yeah, it is pretty significant. However, this kind of was perpetuated, I believe, by a massive amount of liquidations, as we'll talk about in a second. So like branching back out and pulling into the global market cap here, actually, when we kind of peaked off at about 1.75 trillion global market cap, we were only at that point about a 72% off our all-time highs at about 3 trillion global market cap. So at least it was a bit of a wake-up call for me, right? While 72% is no laughing matter, that's still a lot of a jump to still have, it is still less than a 2x. So what that kind of tells me is, before I was thinking to myself, like, I think we'll see anywhere between a 3 to 5 trillion global market cap in 2025. In reality, I think we'll see between a 5 and 10 for sure now. So yeah, definitely moving up my expectations here for crypto as a global market. First news today, Bitcoin price spike above 45,800 caused those $75 million in short liquidations. Of course, this is kind of insane. Most people thinking that we're going to have a sell the news event. We have to still remember, I do believe in anticipation right before we get to the point of those ETFs being announced, we're probably going to have a little bit more positive price action. I still think we'll rebound and go up a little bit from here before, again, potentially coming down. Again, anything can really happen, and it does depend on when these ETFs have actually had their announcements or being approved or not. That might actually come in the next couple of days here as well, which might be part of the reason for it. Again, we can sit here all day going back and forth and trying to call each other's bluffs, but my anticipation is 70% in crypto, 30% or so in cash. That way you can take advantage of whatever situation actually plays out. So here is the news of that crypto bear finally turning bullish. Jim Kramer has never, I don't think ever, said anything good about Bitcoin or crypto at all. And now just have a little listen to what he says.
No, there won't be an ETF. But I do think that the people who are in it for that are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is...
So first of all, he says people already in Bitcoin are going to use that as a chance to sell. He obviously understands how this sort of stuff works, right?
And you can't kill it. Oh, can't. And the late Charlie Munger, who was so brilliant on so many things, was blind to this. Now you can say, wait a second, maybe it's all going to come
Amy Diamond has not spared any negative words.
No, but... Look, I mean, it's a reality and it's a technological marvel, and I think people have to start recognizing that it's here to stay. The SEC's been against it almost the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that every one of these is here to stay, but I do think that this is a remarkable comeback that was unexpected, except for all the bulls who turned out to be right. Again,
I mean, what can you say? Like, I feel like laughing just listening to this guy, right? And again, markets are down right now. Jim's bullish. What is happening? I think, as we all know, whatever Jim says, the opposite happens, right? Maybe that's the reason why we're crashing right now. I've got no idea. But the fact that this man said you can't kill it, right? All the bulls were right. I don't know. Something's not right. Something smells fishy, but nevertheless, interesting to see Jim Kramer finally, at least officially, saying you can't kill the damn thing, right? So, why fight that? Why fight something you can't kill? Just go with the flow. So, I thought that was pretty interesting to share as well. Quite bullish, but again, maybe not. Maybe it's the reason the market's crashing. Our next bit of news today, Etherscan expands to Solana ecosystem with SolScan acquisition. So, Etherscan has basically purchased SolScan, and they are looking to bring in a whole different bunch of functionalities to SolScan, basically interoperating with each other, which I believe is going to be fantastic, especially for us researchers. We're going to have much more comprehensive data, likely at least, and you never know what might spawn from this as well. Our third story today, crypto exchange volume cracks 1 trillion for the first time since late 2022. The markets are picking up. More people coming in, more people trading, more volume equals more exposure. Simple as that, guys. Now, we are, of course, in January over here, but the month just gone, December, we had 1.1 trillion. Yes, that's with a T in volume across these exchanges. Now, this is, as they say, the highest monthly mark since trading volume hit 1.35 in May of 2022. So overall, positive news. The market's down, but ultimately speaking, this is just a dollar cost average position. If you're looking at this right now, thinking to yourself, oh my God, my portfolio, then checking your portfolio when you see all the, my altcoin's down $200 today. This one's down $50, and overall my whole portfolio is down like $1,000 today. It's like, that's like 10% of my portfolio. I mean, don't look at that. Look at red as like, okay, what can I buy here? It's always paper. Paper losses mean absolutely nothing. Different story if you had to sell tomorrow. So don't look at that as necessarily a bad thing. Well, here's some positive news, right? Arbitrum and Optimism, the two scaling approaches for Ethereum based on rollups, optimistic rollups more so speaking. These guys hit their all-time highs very recently when Bitcoin actually spiked up to the $45,800 level. It was really good to see actually Arbitrum still there. Arbitrum is still indeed there. We can see over here, $1.90 is the current price for this project, still going up. Great to see. I think finally catching up to it. I was on a recent call with a one-on-one consultant, and I was saying, like, look, Arbitrum is going to be a project that's going to blow people away because it is more than double the TVL of the second best project, I believe, which is Optimism right now. And it was like down here, right? It's only recently started coming up. Like, it's only a matter of time before this explodes. And the same can be said for Matic as well. When you have something that is fundamentally strong and the price hasn't caught up, it's a matter of time. That's just like when people argue, well, hey, this project was around in the last 2 cycles. It's not going to do well this cycle because people are going to look at the price and think to themselves, it's an old project. I don't really know what's happening right now. I'm not going to buy it. When they don't look at the most important thing is the actual business itself. Like, as if you would go ahead and not buy a stock on the stock market because it was an old stock and then not look at the business. The business is growing. Why would you not want to invest? So the psychology in crypto is very warped, and the same can be said with Optimism over here. Now, I didn't catch this one as soon as that. I didn't have that foresight, right? But these guys definitely just have been blowing up since October last year, right? Basically when the market turned. $3.70, they pushed up to $4 recently, so big congratulations to anyone that purchased Optimism. Now here's some more Bitcoin news. The SEC will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF as a political necessity, says TD Cowen. So the SEC will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF by the 10th deadline as a so-called political necessity, according to TD Cowen. Now, TD Cowen is an investment bank. I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of him before this, but however way you kind of want to wrap what the SEC is doing here, I think they're going to have it approved by the 10th of January. I know you're sick of me saying this. You're sick of everyone else talking about the Bitcoin ETFs the 10th of January. You got to be ready for it. But either way, I thought it was pretty interesting to share it with you guys. At least, I don't know, political necessity. I think the reason why they're pushing it is because of BlackRock, to be honest with you, and that's about as much as I want to leave that story. But here's something else relating to Bitcoin in a different sense. One of our saviors, right? One of our saviors, Michael Saylor, is selling his shares in MicroStrategy actually at a rapid pace. He's selling 5,000 shares every day for the next 4 months because he's looking to, well, first of all, look to address apparently his financial obligations, whatever that means, but also just simply purchase more Bitcoin for his own personal portfolio. So yeah, it's $216 million worth of his own shares. So again, while that might not push Bitcoin's price up to astronomical levels, it is of course going to help. The more Bitcoin there's purchased, the better, simply. Now, that is going to pretty much do today's video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Short, sweet, but necessary, I believe. Counting down the days here for this ETF to happen. And of course, we've seen a possible sort of little taste of what this might actually do to the markets, as you can see here. Now, imagine this times 2 or 3. Okay, that's why it's important and why I've been stressing to you to be well aware and on the pulse. So to be on the pulse, you're going to want to subscribe and like the video if you have really enjoyed. It helps me out a lot. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Take good care. Bye.